Cooks. Today we have the Ooni Halo Pro spiral mixer in the house, right? We're gonna do our first try with this mixer. Ooni says that this can replace a KitchenAid. We're gonna see, because we're gonna be using this paddle to make a triple batch of oatmeal raisin cookies. How is this mixer with cookies, right? We're gonna find out. Welcome to the Amy Learns to Cook kitchen. Okay, so what is a spiral mixer? So Ooni came out with the Ooni Halo Pro, and it seeks to solve some of the issues that you have with your classic planetary or your KitchenAid stand mixer, right? These have been around a long time in a commercial setting. A lot of people like to use them for pizza. We have another spiral stand mixer called the Famog, or the Famage, or the Famog. And this is Ooni's attempt at making one of these types of mixers. One of the things that Ooni has brought to it is not just a dough making function, but also a paddle and a whisk. So we're going to try the paddle up today. There's some people that have been saying the whisk doesn't work great, the paddle's not as great. We're going to find out ourselves, right? So how this works is this mixer has a spiral dough hook that comes down here in a beater bar. And the beater bar keeps the dough in that spiral hook. And you get this big pumpkin and it makes beautiful bread dough, right? What they've done is they've made a paddle to go with this mixer. And I always thought when I saw this, I'm like, is this going to be like one of those, is it going to mix like one of those Sunbeam Mixmaster mixers? I don't know, right? So here's our paddle. The bowl spins. One concern I have is it's just on one side of the bowl. It's not going across and hitting all those touch points like a KitchenAid does. One great thing about this kind of spiral mixer is it tends to be a lot more steady on your counter, because mixers motors that come up over the top of the mixer has all that weight on the top, and they tend to be, right? Mixers that have the motors down low or in the base tend to be more steady. So we're going to see. We're going to see what this thing can do. Let me go grab my ingredients. Okay, this recipe is up on my website, AmyLearnsToCook.com. You can print it out. I have 6 cubes of butter and a whole bunch of sugars. Here is white sugar and brown sugar. Whoa. I don't know. This is Eric's idea, so.
Hey, the Ooni says it can replace the KitchenAid. Well, this is going to exceed the KitchenAid.
KitchenAid can't do this, so. The biggest test is how it creams. Why don't I have confidence? We have to let this go maybe 3 minutes at least.
We have a lot of butter in there.
Yeah, maybe longer. So let's let it rock and roll.
Oh, it almost has a pumpkin look, Boo Boo. It looks like it's almost taking us to dough.
Question is it creaming very well?
Oh, that I don't know.
Be careful, bro.
I'm away from it. My bad. I'm the one who's making a mess up here on the top there. Yeah, I think it's done a relatively decent job, right? Sorry, Mixomatic Ebu made a little bit of a mess.
Okay, it's looking pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and add like 6 eggs and a whole bunch of vanilla. I do like the pause button. I think I want to scrape this down here. Okay, so in our dry ingredients, I'm going to put some baking powder, baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up. Okay, let's put this in here. All of it at once, boo?
As long as
I don't have the thing on here.
yeah, go slow.
Whoa! Whoa.
That's a big dough ball.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen when I go to put this oatmeal in here.
Go very slowly.
This was Eric's idea. I wanted to do a double. Keeps kind of binding up on the paddle. I don't think this is giving Ooni a break here. I got 12 cups of oatmeal. This ain't working. Lift the head. This was a bad idea. It ain't gonna be fun to clean that up because it's gonna be all stuck in there.
It's climbing up in there.
Yeah, it's gonna have to mix her up.
So does this have like a slug? Are you on like 1% or 10%?
There's no 1%.
Okay.
So, before I have a complete and total cluster of a video, and I ruin the mixer all at the same time.
So we're gonna have to stop the mixer at this point, just fold it in by hand.
Yes. Okay, Eric's gonna finish this off because since it was his hair brain.
My fault. Amy wanted to do a double batch for volume purposes. I thought I'd do a triple batch to see if it's strong enough. It seems strong enough, and so far it did a good job. It's just that the head and everything is too low, so even though it's a 7-quart bowl or something, you don't really get the full use, and it's climbing up as we saw. So that's my bad. So far, it's doing a good job of what you would expect, right? I mean, it fits in the bowl, just doesn't fit on the mixer. All right, we've got the dough hook on here. Because
Eric changed it out to the dough hook.
Yeah.
Since this was his harebrained idea.
My harebrained idea. So the bowl is still within capacity purposes, but it wasn't going to work with that paddle. So that's not good. So let's go ahead and finish it with this guy, okay? We just need to get the stuff folded in a little bit, right? And it's getting kind of heavy for me.
You're going to break the thing. You got to dig out underneath it.
Oh, I think it actually went. Yay.
Okay.
All right. So how do you start this thing?
I think you just press the button.
There's a button right here.
No, press the dial.
Oh, hit the, okay. How's that looking to you, Boo-Boo?
Looks a lot better. Man, it was climbing that hook.
So I think if you're mixing concrete, at some point you have to switch over to the dough hook. I think the dough hook will do a much better job. Let me get a spatula here. So you can...
You get to clean the mixer head.
Yeah, I gotta. So I think that bar is doing a good job feeding the thing. I just want to kind of keep the...
That's what the bar does with bread dough.
Yeah. But this is not like bread dough. This is very wet. Just a mess. So, is that incorporated enough for you, Boo-Boo?
Yep, I think we have cookie dough.
All right.
And then you get to clean the mixer. Okay, so this actually surprised me because I didn't think that paddle was even going to cream the butter and sugar. I didn't even think it was going to do a very good job, and it did. We made the mistake. We should have put on that hook right when we put all this oatmeal in, but we didn't. Lesson learned. That's a lot of dough in the Ooni. So we're going to bake some of these up. I'm going to package some of that into dough balls for the freezer. We're going to bake a couple sheet pans off, and we'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, so thank you, Boo, for baking off all these cookies. This is crazy, and he did something very crazy. I think he got tired of baking them, so he baked some that are huge. What is up with that?
I had to use up the rest of the dough.
I'm surprised it even baked all the way.
That's going to be wonderful. I call them oatmeal pancakes.
Jeez. Okay, so the mixer. I was pleasantly surprised that it actually creamed the butter and the sugar. I didn't think it would. I had like the Sunbeam Mix Master on my mind. But I think with these scraper paddles, it really helped to scrape and move the dough around very nicely. And it was nice and fluffy, the creaming. It also did well mixing the ingredients. Of course, we kind of had a big fail because of Eric's grand idea of doing a triple batch in a 7-quart mixer. But that was on us, right? Once Eric put the dough hook on there, it worked perfectly fine. There was some stuff at the bottom that wasn't combined, some oatmeal that wasn't stirred in, and I think it was just overwhelmed. So, can you make cookies in the Ooni Halo Pro stand mixer? The answer is clearly a yes, right? So we're going to be moving on with our look at this. We're going to be whipping some cream. A lot of people say that they have trouble with that. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to move on to bread. So I think for the cookie thing,
It definitely gets a pass.
Thanks for joining me.